Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you have any purchase questions about this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. The direct purchase and pricing inquiry line for this watch and any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. For your questions about this Breguet Classique Day-Date Moon, this is reference 3337BA, 35.8 millimeters in classical yellow gold. It is an ultra-thin automatic complication, measuring as it does 7.3 millimeters thick and from lug to lug 43 millimeters, with a spacing between the lugs of 18 millimeters, such that I can recommend this watch for a wrist of any size. There is no lower limit for wearing this watch securely and handsomely. Let me quickly throw it on my wrist, 16 centimeters circumference, so you get a good sense of how it sits and fits. Think 36 millimeter date just, but with more gravitas and presence. And in yellow gold, I feel like this is the perfect Breguet. Emblematic of Breguet design, the dial actually recalls the vintage Breguet 3833 pocket watch, which is from the era of A.L. Breguet himself, and that's where that dial comes from. Now, you'll appreciate that the strap is handsomely color coordinated to match, with a little bit of a contrast, a navy blue against the yellow gold, a handsome clash. And you'll also appreciate the folded edge, the monotone stitch, and the fact that this is a brand new Breguet factory strap, so you will be the first to crimp or gouge it. Outstanding condition. You can see semi-gloss finish, all navy blue, nicely executed, and a Breguet single fold deployant clasp that allows you to avoid dropping while donning or removing at bedside. Rolling back to the case, it's a cold rolled case, and you can see right here the coining on the flank is created by a sort of cold working process, rolling the case flank and then hand finishing it. The lugs are welded on, sophisticated handcrafted case construction with all evidence of the welded joint removed to create that sharp break between lug and case band. All of high polish, and you'll note that the strap is fixed quite securely by the use of screws and bars rather than conventional spring bars. It's a bit more expensive to manufacture and slower to change, but far more secure on the wrist. You can see there are pusher adjusters around the case for its various complications, the Breguet signed crown, and then a domed bezel with a little bit of a lip and a polished domed profile. You can see the mid-case is more or less defined by the lip of the case back and the lip of the bezel. Turn it over. The dial is sensational. Clou de Paris, and this is a lovely, true rose lathe guilloche dial. First of all, the dial itself is made of solid gold. Once it's cut on a rose lathe, guided by a guillocheur, who is a artisan who works in guilloche, you will then have that solid gold guilloche cut dial silvered with a galvanizing process that creates the look you see here. You can see the satin finish for the hour track as well as the minutes track. A lovely hobnail at the center, and there's a sort of ripple pattern, a convergence pattern of guilloche outboard of the dial. The dial is a conventional gridded clou de Paris, but there's more of a ricochet or convergence pattern outboard. Now you have golden discs for the day as well as the date, and then you have the moon phase with the man in the moon and approximate age of the moon. Of course, at center, Breguet hands, fired blue. They are made of steel and fired to create the blue look you see here. And you could just see on the dial, adjacent to the Roman numeral 12, the Breguet secret signature. Now turn it all over, and this is where things get special. This is the Breguet caliber 502, but as you've never seen it, fully engraved. So caliber 502, let's quickly discuss the nuts and bolts. It's based on the historic ultra-thin, that is 2.4 millimeter thick, Frederic Piguet P71. So automatic winding with a 3/4 style rotor, 21.6 beat rate. This example is free sprung for additional timing stability, adjusted in a chronometer like 5 positions. So it's beaten away at 21,600 vibrations per hour with a 45-hour power reserve, pivoting on 35 joules. You can see the Breguet logo has been etched into the 3/4 rotor, which has been both engraved and skeletonized. Now everything you see here, I'll get as close as I can without corrupting the image, features elaborate floral and banknote scrolling, and you can see they did not hold back. One of the signature features of the P71, the open barrel, helping to thin out the movement even further. You'll appreciate that no square millimeter of this movement goes untended, with every edge featuring mirrored anglage and every screw head black polished. This truly is as good as it gets, and of course you've got the complications on the top side with the date and the moon phase, plus a lovely open case back, and you'll note happily the movement is perfectly sized to suit the case. So this is a happy convergence of the two features, as oftentimes movements and cases designed by different outfits don't feature such a handsome symmetry. This one is perfect, hand in glove as it were. 30 meters water resistant, but this is not an aquatic watch. I wouldn't recommend you even try. A handsome dress watch of extraordinary handcrafted quality inside and out, perfect wearable size on any wrist, and as classic as a Breguet Classique can get. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing and purchase questions.